Hi everybody, hope you guys are good, hope you guys are amazing. Welcome back to another episode of Pathways with Sweetling. As you can see today, I'm not alone. I am with my cohort member, my colleague, and the interesting thing about my guest today is we're actually at the same practicum site, so maybe we'll share some insights about our site and all of that during the interview. But before we get started, if you are new here, welcome. If you're returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you are new, please don't forget to subscribe, okay? Please do subscribe and join our growing community. Welcome to Psychology Pathways with Sweetling, where we guide future registered counselors one pathway at a time. My name is Sweetling, and I am so glad that you're here. Let's begin. All right, so my guest here today is the beautiful Lericha. Hi, Lericha.
Hi, Sita.
How are you?
Good, thanks, and you?
I'm good. Are you excited for this interview or are you nervous?
I'm excited. A little bit of nerves, but excited. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm grateful for having you here today, and I can't wait to hear what you have to share with our community today.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. So if you are interested in hearing what Lericha has to share with us today, please do stay tuned. Let's get started. All right. So the first question that I like to ask my guests is I like to ask them to tell us a little bit about themselves. So who is Lericha? You can even introduce yourself. Who is Lericha? Where do you come from? How did you land up in BPsych Equivalent, into the BPsych Equivalent program? Was that always the goal? What did you study before that? And yeah, just your journey up until this point.
Okay. So hi everyone, my name is Lericha and I'm originally from Limpopo. I moved this side to start my studies in 2020.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch Okay, serious intruding. Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
So I started my undergrad at TICS. I did my undergrad, and obviously in this field, very wishy-washy, very uncertain. So only in my third year I realized that I will need to do an honours. So I started applying very, very late. It was not always the plan to do an honours. So I applied at Varsity College and I did my honours the year after that. Very intense. It was definitely such a shock for me jumping from undergrad to postgrad. There were tears.
Was this academic honours?
Academic honours, yes, okay. My academic honours. So in honours, again, very wishy-washy, no legit answers. I realized that, okay, I will need to do a master's. Again, didn't plan for that. And then the scary talk comes with it's going to be very competitive, only 10 per university. Do you have this ready? Do you have experience? Do you have that? Do you have that? So after that, I immediately started applying in my honours here. Surprise, did not get in for the first time. And it's very, very heartbreaking getting the rejection letters, right? So after my honours, I was kind of forced to do a gap year. So in my gap year, I just volunteered. I actually volunteered at JPCSA. It's Johannesburg Parent-Child Counselling Centre, which was amazing. I'm so glad that I found them. And I was able to do some hours there and just gain some practical experience. And in that year, I decided, okay, let me look for other alternatives. And I stumbled across the BPsych program. And I applied. It was very tricky for me to choose between the Pretoria campus and the Johannesburg campus. And I figured, let me just apply here. And selection weeks came. I was invited. Such a shock. The disbelief I was in when I got the invite. I was like, what do you mean? Obviously, I'm not sure if we're going to get to that later, but selection week was very intense. I left there and I was like, such a cool experience, but I'm definitely not in. Like, yeah, after my interview, I'm like, okay, nice experience, guess I'm taking another gap year. And
Lericha.
yeah, no, I was like so sure after my interview. I'm like, Okay, to my surprise, I got the email that I got in, and yeah. So now I'm here, finished the academic part last year, and now doing the practicum, and the end is in sight. The end is in sight, and I'm so grateful for that. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much for sharing. I don't know if you mind disclosing which master's program you tried to apply for.
Okay, so I decided on counselling psychology. The clinical route was never for me. Like, I prefer the more laid back, if I can say that. Like, just the people. I couldn't see myself in a hospital setting and doing my like practicums there. So I'm like, no, let me do counselling. So yeah, that was always the goal.
What would have happened if you were placed at the hospital for practicum here?
You know, I was so scared for that when they said it was an option. I was like, please God, don't let me get in for that. And then as time went, I realized, because they said in the pre-practicum meetings, like, you will get placed where you're needed. So I kind of made peace with the idea, like, if I got placed at Hospi Vision, it would be good. It would be okay and I would make it. But yeah, I did not get placed there.
Behold, that's not where you were meant to go.
Exactly. So yeah.
Are you happy with your current practicum site?
Yes, I am. Again, when I got the letter, I was like, why did they place me here? Just because I have no experience with adolescents, with students, and so on. But as time went, I was so grateful for the practicum site. Like, Sita, you know, it's such a great environment. We've learned so much. It's a great team we're working with, and just overall great experience.
Just so you know, we're not going to disclose where that practicum site is for safety reasons. But if you are curious, it is a higher learning institution. That's what we're going to share. So working with students, university students. All right, thank you so much for sharing, Lericha. I think everybody that I've seemingly interviewed has had their own bumpy ride into getting into this program, and I remember from some of the conversations also that we've had that you've mentioned many a times that this is the end of the road for you. This is it. Like, you are content with being a registered counsellor. You're not looking into going into masters, not looking into furthering, going further. What would you say has really gotten you to feel that you are content with being a registered counsellor, and this is where you're kind of going to stop?
I think I had to go on like my own personal journey, and I'm going to say the following very lightly and sensitively because it was my own personal view, but I kind of had to sit myself down and like have the honest conversation of like, why am I pushing so hard for masters? Like, what is going to be different from being a registered counsellor to being a psychologist? And I came to realize that it's the title. And after I had that realization, I'm like, okay, so is being there for people and helping people going to be put to the side just so that I can say, like, I'm a psychologist? And again, my own personal journey. But after that, I was like, you know what? I can really make a difference being a registered counsellor. And even this year has been such an amazing year and so eye-opening. Like, I know, Sita, you've had different experience, but I really had to refer no one out that I saw. Like, I could see, okay, there was one client that I maybe had to, but anyway, but I could see everyone. Like, most people do struggle with the everyday life stuff. Here and there you get someone, and then yes, obviously, do refer when it's needed. But people just have normal problems sometimes, and I love being there for them for that reason. So yeah, this is the end of my journey. I'm very happy to say that I'm fully contained. I'm excited to start working as a registered counsellor next year, and this is actually more than enough. I feel like you're touching on such a valuable topic because people do not realize the value we hold as future registered counsellors. We can do a lot, we can help a lot, and I do believe, again, my own personal opinion, that not everyone should push for masters. Like, there's such a need for registered counsellors in our country, and just be happy with where you are.
Sure. Yeah, that really tugged at my heart. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I think the reason why it really did tug at my heart, and I was very curious, and I really did want you to share with our audience about that, was because that actually did do something to me. When you shared that you're not going anywhere else, you're content with where you are, you're still fulfilling your purpose even in the role of being a registered counsellor. It's not registered counsellor and then psychologist and then whatever. It's I think the minute you get into the profession, you start to realize that it's actually a multidisciplinary team of mental health workers. Registered counselors fulfill their role, so their scope. Clinical psychologists fulfill their role, their scope. Counseling psychologists fulfill their role, their scope, and so on. We all do different roles within the mental health space. There's no saying one is better than the other. We all fulfill very crucial and important roles within the mental health space. And once you get into registered counseling, I think you start to realize that there's so much that you're doing in this field, and there's so much that you can do in this field. I'll share in a future video that when I get to sit down and actually answer these questions for you guys, and I get to share my journey as well as to where I ended up, or where I'm looking to go, or what the journey looks like for me, whether I'm continuing or not. You'll get to hear that another day. Today we're going to hear about Lericha's journey. Thank you so much for sharing, Lericha. So the next question that I have for you is, what was the application process like for you?
Sita, you are awakening some traumas. It was horrible. I'm going to answer it in a two-part because firstly, I was at fault. I really underestimated how big and how lengthy applications is for masters. Giving yourself a day or two to quickly scramble and put something together, you're really not gonna get it done. Like, you really need time, and you really need to sit down and dig deep and answer the questions honestly. And looking back, that's something that I did wrong for some of the applications that I've filled out, because it's like, oh my word, it's closing tomorrow, let me quickly scramble, put something together, maybe copying and pasting it from a different application, and don't do that. Take your time, make sure well in advance you know when things are opening. I'm not sure if you touched on that, but Cognition & Co.'s website really helped me a lot. Just putting all the application deadlines on their website, and that kind of helped me. I was still late for a few, like scrambling last minute. And I want to say, like, if masters is your goal, take your time. Make sure you are very educated on when things are closing, how much the application fees are. Will you be required to add a little bit of research, like what is the requirements, because each one is so different. And then moving to the BPsych application, also lengthy, very lengthy. Don't rush that. I think they really require us to be as open and as honest as you can. I don't know, just answer it from the heart. But again, make sure you have enough time to actually sit down. I actually have a funny story. In my honours here, I also applied for the BPsych.
Okay.
And the other day I found my application form and I just bursted out laughing. I was like, the person who read this were probably laughing. Like, no reason.
Was it that bad?
It was so bad. Like, and I paid money. That's the worst part. Like, I read it and I was like, how did I think I was going to get in writing this nonsense? So just download everything well in advance. Make sure you know what they require of you, what you need to upload, what needs to be certified, because that's the other thing, because some of them open very early and some open very late, and then by the time you need to upload things, you had to certify something again. Like, the police station was seeing me that year, like, yo. But yeah, it's a big process. Don't rush it. Like, take your time. If you're serious about getting in and not like me filling in my first BPsych application, like, just take your time. Be truthful and be honest when answering the questions, and just be you. I know somebody told me that and I was like, whatever. But it's very true. Like, let the application reflect who you truly are. Let your words actually have meaning rather than just filling in this elaborative, fancy thing just for the sake of sounding smart.
Sure. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I think you shared a very important thing with regards to especially the BPsych program, the BPsych Equivalent Programme, which is obviously now called the Postgraduate Diploma for Psychological Counselling. I think sometimes people may think that it's going to be much easier applying into this program or getting into this program. And I think it's actually the same as masters, because not only do they also only take a select number, but I think it's to a certain extent it's even worse, because there's only a few institutions that actually offer the program countrywide. Like, the only institutions that I know that offer the program right now is SACAP, Cornerstone, and UKZN. And with Cornerstone and UKZN, it's literally one campus each. With SACAP, it's only at 3 of their campuses. So that makes it only 6 or 5 places, in fact, 5 places where it's being offered, and they only take a select number of individuals, which means that it's going to be harder. And also the application process, you also have to motivate to get into the program. It's not only your academics that are going to speak for you. And then on top of that, you also get invited to selections. If you do make it through, you come for selections. You don't just come and sit. It's rigorous, you know, it's difficult, it's challenging. You need to kind of show them why you would be the best candidate, but also still staying true to yourself. You know, like Lericha mentioned, it's very important that you allow them to see you and who you are, you know. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. And I love that you've also openly shared that it wasn't your first time applying. And I think that's something, sometimes people think that if you don't get in the first time, it means that you're not capable ever, or you'll never make it even in the future. But that's not true. That's not particularly true. It just means that maybe you were not ready the first time you applied. Like you mentioned, you went and looked for your old application and you looked at it and you're like, I also wouldn't accept me.
Definitely not.
And it's not because you were a bad person, or you were not you were not good enough to become a registered counsellor. You're just not ready at that moment. But you applied again the next year, and lo and behold, you got in. Because why? You had the time to kind of reflect, to grow, to learn, and you got in the second time. So if you don't get in the first time, it's not a train smash. Yes, it's not nice. Lericha has shared that it's not nice getting those rejections and all of that. It's not nice. But once you do get in, it becomes all worth it.
And I think you've touched on something very important. I think a common misconception that people have about the BPsych program is like, it's an easy alternative. Like, you'll just apply and you'll get in. And it's actually very far from the truth. I remember with our selection weeks, they mentioned that they got 450 applications, where only 50 people got invited to selection week, and then only 15 people were selected.
Imagine.
So please don't use it as like a safety net. We're like, I'll get in easily, it's going to be like a breeze, like I'll just send in an old draft and it will be good. Like, do take your time. If you're serious about applying for things, just do your best. Don't be like me and just rush it and then be sad that you didn't get in. Like, hard work truly will pay off.
Yes, and I think adding on to that also is, I think sometimes people tend to also use it as a stepping stone, that no, if I don't get into masters, I'll just do registered counselling and then keep trying for masters. But I can tell you now that if you go into selection week with, or even applications with that mindset, you probably won't get in, because they want people who genuinely want to become registered counsellors. Whether in future you want to further your studies and become a psychologist, that's up to you, but in that moment you have to really be somebody who wants to become a registered counsellor, because like we mentioned earlier on, registered counselling is another discipline within the field of psychology. It's not a psychologist light or a downgraded psychologist or whatever. It's an important discipline within the mental health space. They play an important role within their scope, and psychologists also play an important role within their scope. We all work together within the field of psychology. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. So the next question that I have for you is, what do you wish you had known before applying for the BPsych Equivalent Programme?
I wish I'd known from the beginning that it's very competitive. Like, I wish I'd known that people that are applying for it are taking it extremely serious. Like, when you actually get to selection week and you look around and you see, like, oh my word, I remember my selection week and I was just like, it's like professional people. Like, it's not just 18-year-olds playing around. Like, people are really bringing their best game. I wish I'd knew that. And I wish I'd known that it's okay. Like, I think if I can go back to my younger self, and it's okay to take the pressure off. It's okay to not succeed the first time, like we've mentioned. It's okay to wait another year. It's okay to go and get experience and volunteer something, because you'll find that even in our cohort, like, the people's best strengths is the stuff that they volunteered in.
Yes.
It's the experience that you gained in whatever you did in that waiting period. Go get the experience, go volunteer somewhere. Don't just chop it off as, I'm just wasting my time. Like, you will be learning stuff, you will be learning new skills, and those skills, when you're coming into the BPsych program, will actually be your best strengths. Like, it will be stuff you'll be pulling from every now and then. So I would say I would take the pressure off, and also just, again, the time thing. Like, don't rush it. It's really lengthy. Like, it's a long process. I don't even remember everything that they ask, but you have to motivate, you have to tell them about yourself. You need to tell them what a registered counsellor is, what that would mean for you to get in. Like, the life story, like everything, like, it's a lot. Like, it's not something you just wake up and quickly write and submit. And I also wished that I'd known that time this was my end goal.
Sure.
I really wish that when I was applying, I knew that, you know what, I'm going to be so happy and I'm going to be so fulfilled being a student registered counsellor. Like, I'm going to find my purpose this year and a half and I'm going to be happy. Like, sometimes it's important to realize that it's not always about the next big thing. Like, sometimes we're placed somewhere and you're meant to flourish there. You're meant to go and make it your own and run with it, rather than looking for green grass elsewhere. So yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I think sometimes we forget to not put too much pressure on ourselves. We want things to go in a certain way, in a certain timeline. We've got plans, that by the age of 25, I need to be here, I need to be there, I need to do this, I need to do that. And when you come into this field, you quickly realize that things don't always go that way. I haven't met anyone who's done a professional program in this field who hasn't had a bumpy ride. Whether you had a bumpy ride before getting into the program, you may have got into the program literally in your first try, but somewhere along the way you had a bumpy ride, and I've never met somebody who hasn't. And some people even only discover that this is where they want to be after years of working maybe in corporate or working in other fields, you know, outside of psychology, and then they find their love for psychology along the way and they come into here. So all of those things tie in together. Like Lericha mentioned, when you do get, for example, rejected, use that year to volunteer, use that year for personal growth, use that year to reflect, to become better, so that when you do come and apply again, you can use that experience, that experience of rejection, you can turn it around and use it to propel you closer to that goal of being accepted. Because you are going to face rejection in life, and how else are you going to know how to facilitate a session with your client who's also facing rejection? How are you going to know how that feels for your client? How are you going to know that, okay, maybe this is the evidence-based intervention I want to use for this client, because this really speaks into their story, this really speaks into their journey. Sometimes we have to experience some of the things our clients experience in order for us to be able to hold space for them. So everything you go through really is a stepping stone to where you want to go.
That's very true.
Sure. Thank you so much for sharing, Lericha. My next question for you is, what has surprised you most about the program?
I think how much I have learned in our academic year last year. I think because I was repeating my honours, or basically repeating my honours. So I came in with the mindset of like, I know this stuff, like, I'm good, like, let me just show up and be quiet, do the assignments and be done with it. But some of the modules really opened my eyes a lot. Like, I think a lot of growth has happened, and you really view things through a different lens. Like, once you come face to face with like, what is a registered counsellor, like the spaces we can go into, how do you deal with people, community psychology, like bringing in different aspects. I really did not anticipate that. I thought that I'm just wasting money again, like I wish I could transfer credits and just be done with it. But it's nice to sit in a class with peers from different backgrounds, with different experiences, and then when speaking, you kind of do pick up on the journey they've been on, and you kind of learn from each other. I think that is something that I really appreciate of PsychUp. It's small classrooms, and we really do talk a lot, and we really do share a lot in the sessions. And when people talk and share, you really learn from them. So I really didn't anticipate that I would learn so much in my academic year last year and from my cohort.
Sure. Thank you for sharing that. That's very profound, because I know a lot of students also will be applying, maybe for the second time, or even their first time, but they've probably completed their academic honors, and they might feel, I'm repeating what I've already learned, and only to realize that no. When you come into this program, you quickly learn that everything that you thought you knew, whether from undergrad, whether from academic honors, whether from another qualification, you quickly learn that there's still a lot more that you need to know and you need to learn.
You'll be humbled.
Thank you so much. What would you say has been the biggest challenge for you in this program?
I would say the practicum, in the sense of there's only 24 hours in a day. I think this year has also been quite humbling, because you're just like a hamster on a wheel. Like there's constantly something happening, and you really need to think and plan ahead and be on top of things, because if you're not, you're going to miss an assignment, you're going to miss something, and like you're going to miss some deadline. So I would say the practicum was quite challenging for me, in the sense of, not that it's extremely difficult or that we couldn't do it, just because time is so limited. Like things take time, and there's only 24 hours in a day. So I would say the practicum. Yeah.
Sure, thank you so much for sharing that. And I think a lot of fellow student registered counsellors can actually resonate with that, that the practicum could possibly be the most challenging of the entire program. Thank you. How have you managed your overall well-being during this program?
I'm laughing because we are at the very end, the last stretch, and I feel like I'm such a fraud for answering this question. But
aren't we all?
Yeah, very true. But I would say I was quite selfish with my weekends. I really tried to push to get things done during the week, so that weekends I could use for family and friends and recharge my battery that way. I would do something on like a Sunday evening, but Saturdays and Sunday mornings were like a no-go. Like I would not think of schoolwork. It was just time to relax, and I would say that really helped me. And the second thing is relying on my cohort. I think just sending a message like, hey guys, when is this due? Like, can somebody help me with this? Can somebody share some insight to this? I would say just relying on the people around you, and then just having grace with yourself. I think I've made a lot of mistakes throughout this year and a half, and just learn from it. Like, be gentle on yourself, because this is the perfect time for learning. This is the only time where you can make mistakes and do things not perfectly and be excused for it. I remember they said in our training, like, this is the only time where you'll have so much support, like so many supervisors, like your cohort around you. Rely on those people. Like, don't try to be the bravest and the strongest and the smartest and whatever. Like, you're human. This is your first time doing this, and rely on the people around you.
Sure. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I love how you touched on relying on your cohort, because I don't think other cohorts were like our cohort. I'm sorry, but I have to brag. I don't think other cohorts were like our cohorts. They probably have, they probably will also have the same to say about their cohorts, but I don't think I would have chosen a different cohort. There's not a single person in this cohort that I would have replaced. I would have said, no, I wish they were not here. This is like the best cohort I've ever had. Not that I've had any other, but to be quite frank, I don't even want any other cohort. I'm happy with this cohort. Yeah, you guys are amazing. The best of the best. Thank you so much for sharing. What advice would you give to a prospective student?
I would say be open-minded, be gentle on yourself. Like Sita mentioned earlier, like, everyone has a bumpy road. Take the pressure off of getting in on the first time, and don't blame yourself. I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with, like, why she could get in, he could get in, what is wrong with me? Like, our timelines are different. Just take the pressure off and take it as it is. You will get where you need to be at the end of it. And also just, I know this is cliche, but take every opportunity and learn from it. Try to enjoy everything that you're doing, whether it is still volunteering, waiting to get in, whether it is the application process, whether it's the selection week, and whether you actually got in and you're starting your BPsych journey, like just enjoy it. Like it's something to be celebrated and it's something to be grateful for. So just enjoy every step.
You heard that, okay? You heard that. I hope you're listening and I hope you're taking down some notes and preparing yourself. Thank you so much for sharing that. What's one misconception you think students have about this program?
Speaking from my own experience, it's the plan B. It's the option when there's no more options. It is the very last resort. It is, it's actually no option at all. And that couldn't be more far from the truth. Like, this is such an amazing thing to study, and it's a privilege. Like you mentioned earlier, it is still competitive. It's actually very competitive. And I also think another misconception that people have is you can't work with this degree. Very wrong. So wrong. You can do amazing work. You can really do amazing work with this. And then my last misconception is, it just went out of my head. It will come back to me later. But don't treat this as plan B. Don't treat this as, I'll just apply for it because whatever. Like, you can work with this. This is an amazing thing to study. And if you really want to, again, my opinion, if you really want to help, and that is the end goal, you can help a lot doing this.
Sure. Thank you so much for sharing that, and I think it's really going to shed some light onto a lot of people who are maybe, like you mentioned, thinking that this could be plan B. My plan A is this, and then I could just quickly fall into registered counselling, because you'll be very quick if you do get into a program. You have a reality check, and you'll quickly realize that actually it's as hard as masters. It's really as hard as masters. For some people, I've heard some people even say that it feels that like it could possibly be even harder than masters, because you only get 6 months to put in all the work that you need to put in and learn everything that you need to learn in and apply everything that you've learned. Whereas in a master's program, you've got your year of academics, and then you've got a year of doing your internship, and also on top of that, you can even use your ComServe year for some of the master's programs to kind of, smoothen out those rough surfaces. But with us in this program, you only have 6 months to apply everything that you've learned, and
you have a community project
at the same time. You have to do everything, and you still have research. So thank you so much for sharing that. My last question for you, Lericha, today is, if you could change one thing about your experience, what would it be?
I wish that I knew from the get-go how long this journey is going to be. And I wish that I knew about the BPsych program from the get-go. I would have applied immediately for this straight after my undergrad. I would have not done my academic honours. Not that I'm discouraging anyone from doing that. I've learned a lot in that year. It really prepared me for this year and a half, and I think it really helped me juggle the workload and everything. But I wish someone told me like what Sita's doing here. I wish someone told me about alternative routes to getting into this circle of the helping profession, because I'm so happy where I'm at now, and and I wish I could tell my undergrad self that.
Sure. Thank you so much, Lericha. I think everything that you've shared today on this episode really gave a different perspective. Obviously, everybody has a different perspective because they've all walked different journeys and all of that. But sure, I think the one thing that I'll take away from this entire interview is being content with where you are. And in fact, if there's one thing I can take away from you in general, the one thing I'll always remember about Lericha, she was content, okay? Learn to be content. And meaning being content doesn't necessarily mean that you don't desire other things beyond this. But for now, in this season, I'm content with where I am. And sometimes for even a longer season, this can be the end goal. Registered counseling can be the end goal. The same way counseling psychology can be the end goal. Clinical psychology can be the end goal. Registered counseling can be the end goal for you. It's a beautiful profession to work in. You get to touch lives in ways that I didn't imagine before I got into this program. And I think it's really, we didn't only impart in changing people's lives, but our lives have also been changed by this program.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Lericha, for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know your schedule is super busy during this time, but thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule to come and shed light on registered counseling, to come and shed light on this beautiful qualification, which is now called the Postgraduate Diploma in Psychological Counselling. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And thank you for supporting my community project.
Yeah, and thank you so much for having me. Sure. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much to everybody that joined into this video today. Thank you to everyone that has left a comment. If you haven't commented, please do leave your comments in the comment section below. If you have any questions for Lericha, you can put them in the comment section below. And I'm hoping that this is not the last time she's going to be seen on this channel. There's still a lot that we're going to share on this channel. So yeah, thank you so much to everybody that tuned in. And I hope that you learned a lot from today's interview. Please don't forget to hit the like button, leave your comments in the comment section below, and please don't forget to subscribe, okay? Please don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you can get notified every time a video drops on this channel. See you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye.